This is Zoe. I am back with a flash update, my first one in about a year. A lot has transpired in that time. I did a half-assed update. You can look at that on my feed. Let's just put it this way. I don't want to focus on it too much, but a lot of harassment and nefarious oddities and things I shall not talk about too much. I'm writing about it. I spent 9 months absence, 2 months in a place I didn't want to be in Marion, Virginia. You can guess where that is and what it was. The Western state. They tried to call me crazy. They drove me crazy. But I wasn't crazy. I had my fits at moments, but that was because of a campaign of orchestrated, choreographed, serendipitous harassment. I don't want to get into it. Everybody's going to say, oh, you're a tinfoil conspiracist. I know the routine. And of course, they like to, mental health, like blow it off like, oh, you just lost your mind and all this bullshit. And they're the ones that facilitated all this. They tried to starve me to death in the end. And so I ended up in jail over a petty charge of stealing a cup of coffee or trying to at a Wawa near my house. And well, they fucked with people in my life too. Kimberly, and I don't know if they fucked with her, but Caitlin at the Wawa up on the highway that I used to go to for my evening coffee break. I had a profound marriage moment with Kim. She was so sweet. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was speechless. I should have asked her out, even though I had done this sort of live stream DVD with music, and I had a little virtual date on there. It wasn't intended to be that way, but it ended up being 30 or 40 minutes. She liked it. She didn't really say much, but I could tell she liked it. Right after that, we had this marriage moment. She was beautiful. She prettied up and all this stuff, and she was just graduated from college, I think. So, I thought she was going to move on and I'd never see her again. That's why I kind of did this, just to say goodbye, farewell. And, I don't know if she left or not or stopped working there, but she did disappear. And so I didn't see her, before I ended up in the can up in Henrico. And oh boy, that place is hell. And that mental health, I blame them for it. Oh, those motherfuckers. I could say things, but I'm not getting into it. I'm just finally getting back in the groove, finally feeling a little bit better, but they're responsible for this stuff, I think. And needless to say, it was strange. A lot of strange things that don't add up. Was not my imagination. I'm not crazy. So you can think what you will. You can read what I write when I post it. But a lot of odd things went on. They were investigated. There's a trail of evidence behind that lend itself to prove what I'm saying. It was harassment. It was, to me, it was human rights abuse. It was criminal. In many respects. I don't know who did this stuff. I really don't, but I know mental health is connected to it. They used the pretext of my, decrepit house to start this thing back in February of 2022. It's been going on and off until the summer, and then they really ramped up. Needless to say, a few people got caught in the middle. I lost some friends here on Facebook because of this stuff, and I was locked out of Facebook for a while. My cloud accounts were hacked, and I had somebody hacked into my internet. They had a separate line running into my house. They were coming in and out of my house. These people, I don't know who the fuck they were. It really was a conspiracy of some sort. But like I said, I don't want to focus on that. I'm trying to recover. It's been hell. It's just been hell. They reduced me from 241 pounds to 134 pounds by the end of this when I ended up in the jail and in that damn nut house over there in Western State. And there were those people in that place crazy as shit. I mean, you know, some of them didn't belong there. I didn't meet a girl named Mallory there, 20-something. She was kind of nice. There were a few people that were normal, but they didn't belong there. I don't know what's going on with this stuff, but, you know, it's something going on secret. Some of these counties are doing shit, and then with me, I mean, this stuff's been going on for about 30 years, since 95, since I graduated from VCU. So I'll leave it at that for now. But I'm trying to get back in the groove, trying to get back into music. It's been slow going. It's been just rough. You know, they created PSTD in me, I think. You know, and, you know, they throw pills at everything like that's going to solve something. That's, you know, that shit doesn't work and it never has worked. You know, I mean, you know, it works a little bit, but they were trying to give me so much of that stuff, it was sucking me dry, and I refused to take it, and I'm not going to live like that. So I'll take what works for me, and, you know, sooner or later I'm going to go private, get the county out of my hair, and stop meddling in my business. Every time I do that, they try to stir up something. That's how this thing started back in February of 2022. I was doing fine till they showed up. So, you know, I don't want to get it. You know, I had a good day today. I had a good week so far. I'm determined not to let this shit tear me down, you know, anymore. Started drinking for a while again and got to stop that. So I am stopping. I don't think a few would hurt me, but it's just too tempting to, you know, get back into old habits and the old lifestyle I don't want to return to. You can thank mental health for causing that. They always cause the worst. But you know, I am dealing with it, so I'm not doing it this week. And I'm hopefully not going to go back to that. You know, I might have a few beers down the road when I get more stable. But, you know, I don't miss it. I don't have to do it, but I do like some good. And, you know, I've got a thing for Guinness and Sam Adams and Stella Artois. Sometimes I like a little wine, but, you know, it's just not worth the trouble if you're going to go out and get all fucked up and shit, you know, and get all down about that. I mean, it's bad enough what they did with emotional abuse they put on me, psychological abuse. I don't need to abuse myself anymore, make it worse doing that. So, you know, I am going to stop, but it's not a big deal stopping for me like it is some people. It's just a matter of setting your mind to it. You know, that's what I did the first time. But they destroyed so much. I mean, in the last year and a half, they've been at it with me since my brother died. I don't know why, but you know, it's long, it's complicated, and it's not just them, but they're facilitating, and I'm pretty damn sure. I wish I had an investigative journalist to work with, because there's some dirty shit going on in Henrico County and probably across this country. And, you know, you can't really prove all of it, but, you know, there's things you can prove, and they left a trail of evidence with me. So I haven't. I've been writing about it slowly but surely. So Mark Holmberg, if you're out there, you want a good story, you want to do some investigative reporting, oh boy, you wouldn't want to touch this one. Boy, I know you probably think I'm a tinfoil guy, but I'm not. Some strange, I mean, this is the craziest shit I ever been through with this stuff. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, like I said, I keep saying it and then I go back. You know me, redundant. But seriously, I am trying to get back. I miss my walks in the fan. You know, I just went to Starbucks. I've been going back there. They fucked up with some girl that I liked there that liked me. They even came down there and fucked with her. I don't know what they did. But she's gone now. I never got the chance to settle that one. And there's the other girl at the Wawa up on the highway, Caitlin. They really did a number on her. She was young. I mean, you know, it wasn't a romantic thing, at least not yet. You know, she liked me. We were doing fine. And then all of a sudden, things started getting weird. And, you know, right towards the end, it was just awful. I mean, they really did a number on her that wasn't right. She already had a, you know, dark past, I think. And somehow she got wound up in this shit with me. And I just will never forgive that because I liked her, She didn't deserve that. So I don't know what happened to her. I got banned from all the Wawas in Henrico over a cup of coffee. They were starving me to death for months, like I said. That's why I did that. It wasn't, I don't normally do that. I would never do that in normal circumstances. But, I just said, fuck it. I got to have something to eat, something to drink. I didn't even open any package. I just had a cup of coffee. And they put me in the mental ward in the jail, kept me there for, 7, 8 months. No speedy trial there. They harassed me in the jail. All kinds of weird shit went on in there. Now they, convenient. They tried to make me homeless too. I forgot that. Tried to make me homeless and get me into this homeless culture and put me in a group home like I need that or ever would put up with that. All this crazy shit. Got the county building inspector after me. We've had trouble with them in the past. Me and my brother and my mother, and I burned their ass one time. Oh, that boy, they after me again, trying to put me on the street and shit. So, it's just one thing after another. And needless to say, this time was the worst I've ever had with it. It went on for a year and a half. A lot of oddities there. And like I said, if people investigated it, they'd find it sooner or later. They locked up my money. They did all kinds of fraud, criminal shit. And nobody's going to answer for that. I don't know who did it, but I know mental health. Somebody there knows. I don't think they're all dirty up there, but there's people up there involved in this and know about it. There's people in the police department that know because they did some odd things too. And, I could go on and on about it, but just letting you all know, I'm surviving, and that's where I've been absent. That jail, oh, Jesus. But, I'm not sure what was worse, the jail or Western State. I mean, I'd rather have been in the jail section there. I mean, New Kent regional jail. That wasn't too bad. I mean, it was not where I wanted it to be. It was crazy, little crazy, but it wasn't nowhere near as bad as that Western State. That place was hell. All you could do was eat. They had nothing to do all day long, pacing the floors. They were bringing people in there left and right. Apparently, Virginia is putting everybody under a TDO, whether they want it or not, whether they need it or not, and trying to get around the law. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but they had people there that didn't belong there. The ones they did with me, I never had a hearing. I never had a lawyer appointing me or nothing. Did all kinds of illegal shit. And that was at HCA Farm Road, and like a doctor's Farm Road did that. And it was a sordid affair. I call it the butterfly affair. And y'all know what I did on Facebook. That was part of it. I was conscious of what I was doing. I know it was crazy, but, I was determined to sniff these people out and find out what the fuck was going on. And, it just got so abusive to the point where there were fits where I went into a psychotic state for momentarily, but I always knew the difference. I always had one foot in reality. But when you're under that kind of stress, you're like a agent in the field and some intelligence thing going on. You're living in a dual reality, and that's where I was. And it was because of all this harassment. It wasn't because of medication or bipolar. I mean, it was just, they're running some kind of scam on me. But like I said, I ain't getting into it deep. But I'm back. Hopefully I won't have to deal with this shit with these people again. If I do, I'm preparing myself. I've got my, putting up some book bags together and putting some, backpacks with shit in it. So I can get on the run if I need to and have something. If I get out and have nothing, at least I got my bags and stuff. They threw me on the street. I will say they had a jail diversion program. At least they helped me for a week. But, they expected me to go to homeless shelters and soup kitchens and all this shit. It was just totally ridiculous. They owed me money. They held up my money, my food stamps. They held up everything for months and months. That's why I was in that position. Somebody had to do that. Somebody had to know about it. This was some serious stuff. So, don't believe what you hear from those people. And don't think this stuff doesn't go on, because it does. And I'm finding that out more and more as I read on and on about it. I just don't have the support of people believing me and backing me up and helping me dig up all this stuff, all this, making all these connections. I mean, it's so complicated and convoluted, you need a whole staff of people. And you might need some trial lawyers to sue these people too, because of what they did. They deserve to be prosecuted for this shit. And anyway, enough is enough about that. I'm back at the house, trying to get my truck fixed. That's been setting for a year. Both of them have. They blew the tire out on it. They fucked with the emissions on that. And I finally had to park it, and then a tree fell down in a storm in the backyard right behind the two trucks. I couldn't get them out of there. And then they had all the rasping going on. So I've been without a vehicle, and I can't get around. I've been using the bus. Fortunately, the buses here in Richmond are much better. They're free, so I have been able to get around, but it's a hassle. I got to get my truck back. I'm almost there, though. I got the tree. I'm clearing it out, and I'm going to get that truck fixed and hopefully have something to drive. And I might sell the other truck, but I'm thinking I better keep it, because my brother did a lot of work to it. I'd take a loss if I sold it, and I would have a backup. They blew the brakes out of that when I was in the West End. Out of the blue, because he had put new brakes on it, checked all that shit before he died. Everything was fine, so tell me something didn't go on. Anyway, it's just crazy. But they fucked with Caitlin at that Wawa. She was a basket case when I last saw her, right before I went to jail. And I wish I could have said sorry to her. I wish I knew what they did to her. I could kick her ass for it. I mean, she was just, I don't know what, she had the fear of God in her. I don't know what it was. It was just sad. She was a real sensitive girl, and she was a nice girl. I mean, she was young. She was trying to do right, get her life straight, then gets caught up in the middle of this. Kimberly, I don't know if she was caught up in it. I don't know how long it had been going on before they actually started actively coming after me like they did. So, it's all mysteries without any clues right now. But there's evidence, trails of evidence all over the place this time around. And, it's just a matter of digging the dirt up. And I just don't have people to do it. So I have to do it all myself. And, I wrote my first Substack today. You'll see it on my feed. Haven't been writing in so long. It felt good to actually write a journalistic article. Of course, all you conservatives out there will disagree, especially Trump supporters. But, you know me. I'm an old FDR liberal type, so, middle of the road I try to be, but I don't like all that right-wing shit. But I wrote it. I got that set up. I'm going by zoe.s.manolatos these days. The girl thing. I may as well. I was denied the girl inside for 9 months too, and before that, all that abuse going on, and it was like, when I got home finally, it was dead and everything was. And, it feels good to kind of get back to it. I was thinking about giving it up and just not doing it anymore. Just giving everything up. But I'm trying to come back. I got some new boomers. I'm wearing them. A little smaller ones. I had worn this skirt in a while, so I wore it. It was real cute, cool today. And so I like that. And I wish I could see Kim again. Oh, she was so beautiful that time I saw the marriage moment. No, I wouldn't run off and get married on the whim or even at all. And, it's a generational difference. But I swear to God, it was like that. She was so, I had never seen her glow and be so beautiful. And I don't know if she prettied up for me or was just going on a date after. I never saw her talk, with anybody. I don't think she had anybody, so I'm assuming she did that for me. But she disappeared. I don't know what happened to her. Once I get my truck, I'm going to drive by it and see who's still there. I can't really go in there, but, I'm just curious, because the girl at the Starbucks that I like down here, they were fucking with her too. Somebody was. She was kind of looking really sad when I last saw her too, just like Caitlin. But she did, come out one time when I was there. And she smiled, and took her hat off, and let me see it. So I don't know what she knew or what they did. These places, people come and go. It's essential, but she was real sweet too. I mean, she was kind of shy. She lived right around the corner. She went to BCU, so I don't know what happened to her. The Starbucks up here has been kind of a ghost town, isn't it? But today it was almost like old times. So I'm glad I kind of came out impromptu today because it's going to be like 110 the rest of the week. And I think I can do the yard work in the evening because that's what I'm doing anyway. But I'm broke again. I did get a big chunk of money, but I had to buy all this stuff to replace stuff that was broken by these people that were harassing me. They came in my house. They fucked up my computers. It was just, and this inflation is just unreal. Money doesn't go anywhere anymore. So, I got what I needed, but I was trying to save a little, to put away in case this shit ever happens again. I'd have something, but I'm going to have to sell something and put some money away. I do have some stuff I need to sell anyway. I might get a couple $1,000 for, hopefully, or a couple hundred, $500 or $600 on one thing. Maybe I got an old truck, C10 truck I might sell, and I might get $2,000 on that. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. I have to, play it by ear, but I want to put some money away. I'm not going to let this shit happen to me again. And, if they fuck with me again, they're going to be talking with some trial lawyers and some constitutional lawyers or something. Because I'm going to prosecute, I'm going to seek prosecution of whoever did this shit. I mean, it's just uncalled for. It's been hard to live right now, cost of living. I mean, they don't give me anything to live on. And, everything's so expensive. The big chunk of money I spent a lot of that on food. Then they give me some paltry amount of food stamps. Cut out the COVID benefit they had. And even that wasn't enough, but at least, it was better than what they give me now. They give me now, you're lucky if you get 1 or 2 meals for a week. And, I'm not, the food bank, they even fucked that up. And like sending everybody over there. And mental health business. Fucked it up. They used to be a good food bank. Now they're not giving anything out. I'm not shopping at food banks all the time. So I want to find a job. I'm going to work at home doing something. And I might do a little side business, doing this girl thing. I want to do the Zoe Basics thing. I don't want to get into the products I want to release for that. But, I don't know if it'll fly, but I ain't going to look into it as a side gig. And, I'd kind of like to move down here to the Fan. Just get out of that neighborhood, board up that house. I'm not going to sell that house for pennies on a dollar. You wouldn't get anything for it. And so I'll hold on to it, fight them. But, I'm sick of that neighborhood. It's kind of a ghetto. It's all burned out. You can't get any coffee anywhere in the north side. Black people must not drink coffee, at least these ghetto blacks. Because every place you go, no coffee. The only place that has it, Wawa. You ruin the Wawa up there. They're closing the Walmart grocery store next door. And, it's just a burned out, depressing area. And, when I was in the jail diversion program, they put me down in Chesterfield by the Chippenham Cloverleaf. And, oh, God, there's no motel. Horrible. And I had to take the 1A all the way across the river over to where I live. And that's where it stops over there. Ends the loop back, goes back down. The bus was okay. It ran fast, didn't have to pay. It was efficient, but God, those areas it went through, it was just so depressing. So I've been around all this shit, and it's just been draining me. And so I'm trying to get away from it and do something different. And so it's going to take time. So, and I'm sorry to anyone that on Facebook may have been offended or pissed off at what I was doing back then. You know, I didn't want to piss anybody off, but I was trying to find out what was going on, and you know, I was sort of running with a managed sort of state of madness because, you know, documenting this stuff not only for myself, but just you know, as it was happening, you know, kind of, it was a live stream. And, you know, I was trying to find out what the fuck was going on. And never did, but I know more, and I know that it was not kosher. But what can I do but live? Anyway, it's nice to have a little mini skirt today. It's nice and cool, despite the heat today. So I'm back here in BC. I was looking at fan apartments. They're all running $1,500 a month, but they got all utilities included. So I guess that's not bad. If I could just get a job working at home and make some money, and couple it with my disability money, you know, and not lose that for 3 years at least, you know, give me time to, you know, make or break it without getting kicked out of the system. You don't want to get kicked out because it's hell to get it back. You got to have a safety net these days. They don't give you shit, but it's all I have, you know. But if I could just get something and make it work, you know, from home, writing or video editing or something, there's a lot more of that now since COVID. You know, I'm, you know, global stuff too, you know, because they have a network. I found one online, Flex Jobs. Shit, they got shit around the world you can do from your home here in America. So I want to check that out in a couple of months, see if I can't find something that I can do. Because I'm tired of this cult of dependency and poverty, cycle of poverty and dependency these mental health people have. The public ones anyway that I deal with in Riker. I mean, you know, they just do this to hang things over you and try to socially control you. And I'm not going to put up with that shit anymore. I'm tired of it. Should have never put up with it to begin with. I didn't have a choice in 95 when I lived down here. BC had just graduated in 95. 3 months later, I was harassed. So the story goes, they created all this stuff and said I was crazy. Yeah, I was bipolar. I knew that. But all this other stuff, that remains to be unresolved and unanswered. But this last time was even worse than 95 was. I mean, that was bad, but this was even worse. And, you know, it's the longest run I've ever had with whoever these people are that were doing this shit, you know. My father, he worked for the DOD, he worked for the CIA. So you gotta wonder, you know, they usually do choose their own when they do these experimental things, you know, certain agencies we know. And these days with the technology being so advanced, you don't know what the fuck they got out there. Look at that Havana syndrome with the Russians. Has higher-energy weapons, you know, they change people's thinking patterns, they make people sick, and do all kinds of weird shit, you know, the cellular technologies. And, you know, they make you hear shit too, you know. I mean, this shit's real. People don't realize it. It's real. It's not, you know, it ain't like the 50s and 60s, you know. And even then, you gotta wonder, but this shit today is real. And it's possible. And, you know, I think I'm a victim of that somehow. Because I lived alone, I didn't have a lot of friends, you know, going back to college. And somehow I got wrapped up in this. And I don't think my father intentionally, you know, put me in the middle of this. I'm not saying that, but, you know, he did, you know, he's been a government man. He was a government man all his life. So, you know, they usually choose with their own, and they've done this before with families. And they look for certain profiles. So it could have started out that way. And private entities trying to make a buck got into it. And here we are, you know. Look at all this AI shit they're trying to do. All these pharmaceutical companies, all these drugs and all that shit, you know. You don't know what they're doing. You really don't. And, you know, I know there's some people that really are crazy. They really are. But some people aren't. But you're stuck with that stigma. And You know, that's what they've done to me. And I've had to fight it every time. I've come close to putting one in the head because of it, you know, many a time. Because they ruin your whole life. You know, you go through one of these experiences, it just takes the hell out of you. And this last one, you know, it's like coming back from a war. I mean, you just totally burned out, just spent. You know, I don't have any friends now, you know, personal. I lost a few people I had potentially, you know, could have been friends, but Starbucks girls are being nice to me. A couple of them. I met a girl on the bus that was pretty. So, you know, I'm back to looking, but I wish I could see Kim. I really wish I could see Caitlin and somehow make it up there. I'd like to do a little concert DVD for her. I wanted to, but all this shit happened. And, you know, it takes time to do that. I never got a chance. So, I don't know what became of her. I hope she's okay. Kim, I think's okay. I wonder if Kim knew anything. She did give me a funny look one time. I called it the blue eyes of death. Death, like Windows blue screen and that. And I don't remember what we were talking about, but it was unrelated. She just locked eyes with me. And I still to this day don't know what she meant. She wasn't mad at me. It was like she just knew something. But then, you know, right before I gave her that DVD, she was like real nice to me. She was pretty. I mean, it was almost like she was making a point to be pretty. I don't know. She was so quirky. She liked me. I liked her, but we always fucking danced around. And, you know, now, you know, she worked there 6 years. I think 5, 6 years. Always through college, then I finally get the marriage moment. Maybe she's leaving me, going to graduate school. Just my fucking life. But needless to say, I don't know what they knew up there, but I suspected somebody up there knew something. But they didn't fuck with me bad. It was the one where I lived, and up there, they were fucking with those girls. And I don't know what the fuck they were doing, whoever these people are. You know. So that's the, you know, synopsis of things. In the coming weeks, I hope to do more of these updates, do more video music, post it. I lost my FiOS. I mean, they ran up the bill, by the way, when all this shit happened. All my bills got run up. And I had to spend thousands of dollars and pay some of that shit. Some of it I couldn't pay or refused to pay. FiOS was one of them. I had my reasons because of what happened with them hooking up a separate line and shit. So I refused to pay them, but I might try to get it back. But I had to get Xfinity. And it works good download, but the upload speed's so fucking slow. It's like dial-up from years ago. So it's hard for me to post stuff all the time like I used to. Once I get FiOS back somehow, I can do it pretty quick. So bear with me on that. I lost access to all my cloud stuff on Google. Trying to get it back. They said 30 days to verify my account. So I might get it back. I had all my artwork. I made the mistake of keeping it in the cloud instead of having a mirrored copy on my hard drive. So I don't, have access to all that stuff, and I don't want to recreate it just yet. So I'm kind of recreating some half-assed graphics in between until I get that stuff back. Because I do branding with my stuff. I don't want to confuse my brand. So pardon me on that. My butterfly logo. I don't have access to that. I hate that. And I love that logo, Butterfly Arts. So that's what I'm calling it. And, well, that's basically just so bear with me. Trying to learn some new music. Morgan Wade, One Night, I've learned that. State Lines, I've learned it. I don't sing either one well yet. Trying to get a good recording. I did one the other day. It was so-so. State Lines, I thought I had a good copy. And then I listened the next day, it sucked. Then I did one when I was half drunk, and that was pretty good. But I kind of didn't want to, I was screaming. Not screaming like mad, but I mean, trying to sing it like her. And it was like, I didn't want to do it like that. So I'm working on those two. And, Still doing old Chris Stapleton. Love him. And Johnny Cash, still learning that. That's what I've been up to. I called a certain individual in my past. She was all mad. I don't know, blaming me for this and that from years ago. Left her alone for 6 fucking years, pretty much. I mean, I think I once or twice in between, I tried to reach out with an Olive Branch Center or something. Man, she was so mean and unfair and projecting on me. It was so ridiculous. He's like, oh, move on with your life. Oh, you do this, you do that. I'm like, you bullshit. I didn't argue with her. I was just listening to her. And I was like, you're full of shit. You're just, you're an unhappy, bitter, hateful person. And you never used to be that way. And you're full of shit because I didn't do these things you're accusing me of. And I don't deserve to be treated that way. And I moved on a long time ago. But I loved you. And, well, if you feel that way, I'll move on again. Fuck you, But, I don't hate her, but she's full of shit. She's a very unhappy girl. I mean, I'm unhappy too, but I don't know what happened to her. She's so unhappy. I mean, you could just tell it. And, well, it's sad because, I didn't expect a, kiss ass, real warm reception, but, she didn't have to be all mean, projecting like that. Just ridiculous because, that's what she was doing. And, well, I guess some people come and go. Anyway, that's my update. Probably babbled too long on this one. It's been a while. I try to keep them at 20 minutes, but I don't know how long this is. 37 minutes. So I got to learn to cut them down. But it's just so much to say. But if you did watch, I hope you enjoyed it. Good day.